Hey, thank you for clicking. Hang on, wait, it's Thursday. It's okay. This is an extra video. There will be the ordinary Saturday video in which I start to unpack this wonderful Amiga 1200 that you would have seen me unwrap last week for my birthday. But something else arrived today that I'd almost given up hope of arriving. And at this point, I must say thank you to Jonah from Amiga Addict for putting up with my constant, not harassing, but just questioning where my magazine is. I have a subscription with Amiga Addict that goes to my parents in the UK, so that's fine. And I absolutely love everything the magazine is doing and totally understand that they are doing things as an aside from real jobs. Completely support the project. Here in Australia, we have had issues receiving them. So I ordered an extra copy of a particular issue, and that would have been back in May, and it arrived today, right at the start of December, whatever we are. It's the Thursday, first Thursday in December. So it's arrived. It's arrived, and I'm really excited. Let me put it this way. Okay, so hang on, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Take off one, because I certainly wasn't doing it for the first month. But ever after the first month of waiting, I have checked my post box every single day like an excited child. I kid you not, hoping this would arrive. I don't know if this is the first attempt at them sending me one, because I know they tried to send a second. So if another one turns up, then we'll know the answer to that question. Which issue is it? It's issue 5, Amiga Addict. And why am I so excited about this? And why do I want to share this with you today? Well, because obviously I'm not going to show you all of the magazine, because I totally recommend you buy it for yourself in Australia. Maybe think about digital only until postage is sorted out. Oh, that's right. Oh, we're going to have to do another video in the future. See, I've been so excited about doing a full-on video about this. But there's a label. Why is there a label in here? Because there's a cover disc. But that's actually not what I'm excited about. But that's one of the things I'm excited about. It's a completely selfish thing, but on Amiga Addict, issue 5, if you go to page 11, you will find this. You'll find this article. You might recognize some of those photos. This is the article I wrote for Amiga Addict. So a lot of you know the story of, when I bought a Batman pack back in the day and had to go all the way to London to collect it. And when I rebought a Batman pack in recent times, in fact, there's the Amiga sitting right there, pride of place. And I had to wait a year to go and collect it. This is kind of an extension of that story. So if you're sitting comfortably, and these are the wrong glasses, but my other ones are at work, so let's just go with it. I'm going to read you the story that I wrote for Amiga Addict, issue 5, page 11. And look, of course I've got this online. Of course I've got the digital only version, but Jonah, hopefully if you watch this, you'll understand seeing my face now. It's so important to have this in my hands, mate. It is so important to have this in my hands. My parents have read it because obviously they have my subscription, so they've happily read it and brought a tear to their eye. Let's see what it does to some of you. Okay. Title: You Built a Time Machine Out of an Amiga, by Chris Winter. Let's get to 88 miles per hour and see what McFlies. I think they added that bit. I am going to interject. Okay. Long ago, when people could fly on planes and go to other countries, remember that? I repurchased an Amiga 500 Batman pack on eBay. Given I live in Australia now and the pack was in England, I simply had it shipped to my parents there and waited an entire year to collect it. What a wait that was. Long story short, I collected the box Batman pack over Christmas of 2019, having been Amiga-less since I sold my original Batman pack. Oh, and too many games to mention. Back in probably 1993-ish. Still don't know if it was 92 or 93, but let's go with it. The Amiga 500 itself, in all its wedged glory, looks like new, even now. Sure, I had to replace 2 photo transistors in the mouse and resolve a couple of keyboard issues, but these seem to just be down to time rather than abuse causing the damage. The drive is squeaky clean and quiet, and there wasn't a speck of dust or rust inside the machine. You guys have seen that. I had can't read my own story. I had to pop the warranty sticker cherry myself. The eBay seller story of one mature owner seemed to have rung true. And so, after a year's worth of waiting and a buy it now price of £399, more than my original, because I got a bargain at £350, was it worth it? That's a very good question. The Batman pack now sits in full view, high atop a DVD shelf stack. That's not quite true. It was over there. It's now on my new shelves over here, which I haven't shown you yet. So, another video. In the same room, the A500 itself does not hide away in the original box. It sits pride of place on my desk, as you can see. Notice this has not replaced it in that spot. The A1200 has not replaced it. I keep losing. Yep, there we go. It's plugged in and ready to go at the flick of a switch. And yet, and I'll openly admit this in an Amiga magazine, that switch is seldom flicked. Why not? It's right there as I sit at the very same desk using my PC, waiting to be used. Sorry, why not? It's right there as I sit at the very same desk using my PC, waiting to be used. Don't get me wrong, I have used it. Really, I have. I've played with Deluxe Paint 2, gone through the Workbench discs, played all the games from the Batman pack, including flying under the Golden Gate Bridge in an F-18, inverted. I've begun recollecting the games I had boxed as a teenager, and I've also begun repirating the games I had dodgy copies of as well. Heck, I've even recreated a song I wrote in Soundtracker 2.5 back in the day. Oh, it's been used and I love using it when I do. But in all honesty, it's not often. And I'd just like to, at this point, thank you guys for those of you. Some of you would be going, I remember that, because I've done videos of most of this stuff. Thank you so much for coming along the journey with me. The reason is this. I don't need to turn it on, that is. The fact is this. The primary driving factor for buying the Batman pack again, and it had to be the Batman pack, was nostalgia. Perhaps not in the way that you think, or not that you think you think. Nostalgia is a funny thing, and when I found myself overwhelmed by an emotional longing for the past, thanks to people like Dan Wood, Neil from RMC, Peter from Nostalgia Nerd, and many other YouTubers, I decided to search for the reason why. You see, nostalgia, in the way most of us experience it at the moment, forms part of the midlife crisis, or midlife enlightenment, as I prefer to call it. Longing for the past is part of our natural survival mechanism. When we are young, we look forward to the future. We dream, we plan, we look forward to a tomorrow that seems to take years to arrive. In midlife, we naturally realise that there is less to look forward to, literally. The days we've lived quite possibly outnumber the days we have left. Sorry. Now, if we were to dwell on that fact, and please don't, we'd end up in a quivering mess. Instead, and almost without realising it, we become less obsessed with what will be and favour thinking about what once was. My Amiga then doesn't need to be turned on to do its job for me. Do I enjoy using it? Yes, of course. I love it, but life is full of commitments and things I'm meant to be doing, apparently, and time is short. The truth is, even 2 hours of using the Amiga isn't as powerful as a split second of looking at it. A single glance at that beige all-in-one keyboard computer wedge with those special A keys and the power and drive lights waiting to be illuminated instantly transports me through time. If I turn it on, I see a kickstart screen, a game, Workbench, or whatever, and there are strong memories attached to those. But even without turning it on, I see my mates, Steve, Sean, Matt and Daryl. I see the park. I see our BMXs, mountain bikes, radio controlled cars. I see our Bauer Turbo 33s and our Cooper Super Street Hockey sticks. I see our Santa Cruz skateboards and our Sims wheels with full precision bearings. I see long summer holidays and the girls I never did get the courage to ask out. I see Megabytes, my local independent Amiga computer shop. I see the friendly man behind the counter who no doubt wished I had more money to spend each time I went in there just to look at the boxes on the shelves. I hear breakdance music, followed by acid house, followed by Bryan Adams at #1 over and over and over again. And I hear all of us singing at the top of our lungs whilst listening to the top 40 on our Walkmans. Everything bad from that time seems to have disappeared, and only the good memories remain. It is a sometimes overwhelming wave of emotion, and it comes in an instant. If I use my Amiga, I get to enjoy a machine way ahead of its time. But if I just glance at it, it can evoke a tear or two as I get to be 16 all over again. I built a time machine out of an Amiga, and it generates 1.21 gigawatts of nostalgia, hitting me like a bolt of lightning, sending me back to 1989. Thanks Amiga Addict for printing that story. There will be more. Now that I've got an A1200 to do some comparisons, thank you guys for joining me in this journey. That's all that needs to be said.